Good morning, everybody. And it's a beautiful, beautiful Friday. I guess March has been a lot of snow, but I think what I heard is spring starts this coming Sunday. And we're going to spring into spring with one of my favorite guys who I guess I've known since he was a baby, Adam Shlagel of Chook-and, and obviously originally of Snooze, which is where we first met. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Gabby. So good to see you again. Yes,
You too.
you opened Snooze. You were there on the very opening day, broadcasting live.
And your mother was two tables down, being so proud of her children. No, I don't blame her.
Always is. So yeah, it's great to have. It's great to be back on it. It's great to see you again. Thanks for the time.
Oh, always for you. Well, now you are basically with Snooze. I mean, with Chook.
I'm with Chook. Yep.
And I see a new background, even though every one of them are great. Does this mean your new spot is open?
It is. Yeah, we opened, almost 2 weeks ago.
Forever.
Yeah, totally. So, eons ago. Yeah, we opened up 2 weeks ago. We're on the corner of University and Orchard. So it's a Cherry Hills Marketplace in Greenwood Village. And it's a beautiful restaurant. It's a wonderful community. It's something we've been hoping and looking at for a long time, and just found a great opportunity and the team to match it. We actually have a team and a restaurant. It's amazing.
I think you have several teams and restaurants. Did you really ever imagine? Chook is where Wooden Table was, is if you live in that area, in that whole shopping center, which was always a fun shopping center. And there's parking.
There's loads of parking. It is a busy center, though. I mean, I'm looking out on it right now, and it's amazing being 10 a.m. how full it is, because there's loads of good stuff down here. This Pancake House I remember well. I ate at it often. The Trader Joe's, the Nectars, the Sazas. It's just a great center, and this community I think is so strong and vibrant. There's so many schools around here, which is something we always love to connect with.
It's a huge neighborhood. So, but when you opened the first charcoal chicken, you brought the idea, I think, personally from Australia, right?
Right. Yeah, my wife's Australian. We met many years ago in my previous career as a corporate guy, and she was a corporate gal, and we met down there in Melbourne. And then we actually moved back to Australia for a couple of years. We have 2 little boys, and we were able to bring them back there and spend a couple of years there. And then we moved back to the States in about 2014. And my wife really was the one that put the bug in my ear of missing our local chicken shop, and throughout Australia, they've got these neighborhood chicken shops that are really kind of like saviors for your family. I'm always running late. My kids need to eat. I want to get something that they'll eat, something that I'll also feel proud that they'll eat, that I know is clean and thoughtful and delicious, something that's pretty affordable. And that was just our go-to meal down in Australia. We get it once or twice a week. And when we moved back to the States, it was that bug of we miss our local chicken shop. That option really isn't here. I don't really want to go to a supermarket and get that rotisserie chicken. I think you can have a lot of fun and vibrancy with it. And, thankfully I do a lot of work and have made good friends with Alex Seidel. And that really is the magic of this. Otherwise, it was just an idea schlepped around. But when Alex finally bought in, which took him years, to the idea that this could be something that works, that's really when Chook was born. And
if somebody doesn't know, Alex Seidel, James Beard winner, best chef in the country winner from Food and Wine, Mercantile Fruition, Chook.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah. If you don't know Alex, highly seek out Alex. certainly one of the most
Just
talented.
as a person.
What's that?
Forget him as a restaurateur. As a person, he's
Oh,
incredible.
yeah. I mean, Alex is
But
just
so are you.
integrity and
I
innovation. You know, he's just, you can't say enough wonderful things about Alex and who he is. And, you
Well,
know,
we could say the same about you too. But anyway, just so you know who he is. But did you ever think that the little spot on Pearl was going to grow as I think it's grown and is big now? I'm sure it's not as big as it will be, but so fast.
I didn't, especially given the fact that we've been, you know, around for 3 years, and 2 years have been in a pandemic, and yet here we are still 4 restaurants. You know, I always really believed in the idea that Chook is something that could grow. I do
Oh,
think
it's
that
fabulous.
a neighborhood, you know, your neighborhood local chicken shop, and I say chicken, but I also should say vegetable, because I do think it's actually one of the best vegetarian
I do
restaurants
too.
you can find.
I agree.
And, you know, I mean, I've said this often, like, I'm in the restaurant business, but I'm generally less of the restaurateur, certainly not a chef. I've known growth. That's kind of what my role was at Snooze in developing that. So I always envisioned it growing this fast, this well received, this strong a team. Certainly you never can like dream that up. So, you know, it's certainly met and exceeded any expectation I've had. But in the same instance, you know, it's a harder business than it's ever been.
It's much harder now than it was when it started, isn't it? Before pandemic.
Oh, it's so much harder. I mean, I was sharing text this morning with David Berzon, who's our Snooze CEO, and, you know, just talking about how this is it's not a train track ride. This is, you know, it's a roller coaster, and there's just a lot of highs and there's a lot of lows that you've kind of experienced through it. And it's certainly not for the faint of heart, but when you believe in it, and I do believe both like in what we do and also like the business ethics that surround our business, like super proud of what we've done. And I think what we can continue to become.
I agree. I don't think the public in general has actually realized or settled into the fact, if I might put it that way, that you are working so hard to keep a price down, which may have gone up, which is still impossible. If you go to a grocery store, wherever you go, the prices are so incredible now that it's ridiculous not to realize that you have to be doing part of that as well. And staff is short.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no two ways about it.
No, I mean, it's, you know, my, you know, continued analogies in this, you know, these last 3 months have been, I would actually say, the hardest of
I
the past
agree.
2 years.
I agree.
And now when maybe we're starting to pull up and starting to find our staff, and, you know, certainly guests are returning, I'm like, well, actually some of the wheels came off because all of my prices have gone up, whether it is how much I pay my staff or how much I pay for chicken or a box or gas or anything. Like, it is extraordinary. So it's this constant, you know, you're just constantly on your toes. And honestly, it's the hardest part, because
I agree with you.
you need a little bit of a breather at some point in time.
I mean, well, you've been in it a long time. I've been around a real long time.
Yeah.
And I've seen ups and downs, but I haven't seen anything like this. But you can't go to the grocery. I can't buy a chicken at the same price. You need packaging because all of your things, you do so much carry out.
Yeah, I mean,
That's how the pandemic worked for you, because you knew what to do and did it well.
yeah, I mean, you know, silver linings in anything. The pandemic actually really, I think, helped educate our guests about what we want to be. You know, originally at like our Pearl Street shop, it was a heavy dine-in. I think so many people were excited, almost this like Alex Seidel bistro in my local neighborhood. But but this food just travels so well. And it really should be that, like, this is my Tuesday night. I just want something healthy and delicious to bring home to my family and sit around with. Or I'm going up to the mountains tonight and I'm going to grab this on the way up and have this great meal. So I think, we've always done curbside. We've always been a takeaway restaurant. And because nobody had an option over COVID, I think they realized this is actually a really great option. And luckily it's been able to carry forward as the world returns to normal, they say.
And it still is fun to dine in. I've always taken out and still will do all the time. But even dining in, just so you know, two really good friends. The guy lives in New York who's in the business now. And then a guy in California who happens to be my cousin in the wine business. Both of them were here. And they said, where do you want to go for lunch? So I said, well, there's one place I love to go. And I took these guys that I was supposed to be impressing to Chook.
Nice.
Both of them went home, and I keep getting letters. We want a Chook in San Francisco. We want a Chook in New York. And they go home, and this is all they want. So I was a huge success.
Nice.
At about, a third of the price of a fancy restaurant.
Right.
But that's all they want.
It's, it is James Beard quality food.
Right.
In this very approachable neighborhood kind of environment. But yeah, you walk out of here, I get spoiled because I eat here all the time. My wife,
I know, I've never been there when you're just not picking up.
But it's funny. It really is my favorite restaurant because
I agree.
I'm frugal, and I really want that price value, and for what I pay and what I get.
Right.
Like,
I agree.
The food is phenomenal.
Okay, you have talk a little bit. You have fabulous chicken on rotisserie all the time. And well, you and I know the other stuff, but you tell everybody.
Yeah, so I always like to say again, like, the vegetables really are just as much the star of the show of what we do.
The sides, I call them, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got, I think, 12 different sides that we do, all vegetable heavy. So one of our best sellers is like a mixed vegetables. It's grilled carrots, broccoli, and cauliflower that's cooked over our charcoal grill. It's mixed in this tahina. We put this dukkha mix, which is kind of like a South African like little spice on top of it. It's just broccoli, carrots, and cauliflower, and yet it's so delicious that my kids like actually eat broccoli, cauliflower. There's staple wonderful things like the mashed potatoes and gravy, like, so good. My wife will take shots of gravy all the time, and the mac and cheese. But then you got things like this, cucumber salad, which has got this little bit of avocado, some cashews, some a little bit of red onion in it. And it's just this light, perfect side dish to have. Right now we're doing delicata squash grilled over with this brown butter. That's just phenomenal. That'll switch out to probably a corn dish in summer. And then the salads.
You could live on a salad.
Yeah, the grilled carrot salad I will eat 2 or 3 times a week. It's still my favorite, but the beet salad is so good. I hate it when I go to a restaurant and be like, what's your favorite thing? And then the person's like, everything's good, but everything is good. Like, it's so good.
I have that issue when they say to me, what should I eat here?
Yeah.
I don't know, pick something you like and eat it.
Yeah.
I
mean, you're hard pressed. Actually, it's a fun one too, is we just added these falafels to it.
They're delicious.
So good. Alex has had a falafel recipe in his back pocket for a while. I always like to say my oldest son, he's 10 and he's vegan. He's been vegan for 10 years. So trying to get him to eat at our shop is hard.
He's been vegan for 10 years.
He's been vegan for 5 years. He's 10 years old.
Okay. Curious aside, how did he decide he wanted to be vegan at age 5?
My wife is a very staunch activist for animal rights. And he was eating a hot dog and he asked where the hot dog came from. And my wife told him.
Okay.
And from that moment, he's just like, no animal should have to die for my food.
So he won't eat cheese or eggs or anything?
No cheese, no eggs. Very difficult. He eats a lot of rice and beans. He'd be a perfect Costa Rican.
But when you say vegan, I have some friends who are vegan, and most of them started health-wise because of something or other. But I explained to them that I could take them to Chook Chicken because you can make anything vegan there. I mean, leave out the cheese in most things and you're fine.
Yeah, I mean, the Greek salad, take out the feta, put in some falafel. It's like a phenomenal, two of my best friends, they actually are vegetarian and often vegan. And
well, vegetarian is easy there.
Vegetarian's easy, vegan. We were talking to a group the other day, like gluten intolerant, vegan, vegetarian. Like this restaurant is extremely friendly to all of those areas. And it's not one of those like you don't feel annoying or like sheepish to be like, but can I get this? It's like, no. This menu is very well built so that if you don't like gluten, you're ordering straight off the menu. It's not a problem, and you're having a great feast. If you're vegan or vegetarian, you might wonder why you're going into something that says chicken on it. But actually, most times that or not, I call Chook. I don't really call it Chook charcoal chicken.
I don't either. I always say, are you going to Chook?
Yeah. So to me, Chook, it means chicken in Australian lingo, but most people don't need to know that or want that. To me, it's a fun name. But Chook can mean a lot of different things for us here in the States. In Australia, it means one thing.
Well, here, we make. So you now have 4 locations. The original was Pearl Street. And then Birch in Colorado.
Yeah, 8th Avenue and Birch.
Of course, that's my home now because that's the closest to me.
I know Pearl Street was very sad because they lost you.
Oh, I love Pearl Street, but I can find a space to park and it's 2 minutes from home.
Yeah.
And Stanley Marketplace does incredibly well.
Yeah, Stanley's been great. It's an interesting one for us because Stanley is such a destination, and over these past few years, people haven't been seeking it out as much. But it's on the rebound now that all their restrictions are going away. The summer, it's a party 24/7 at Stanley, so it's certainly a great spot and continuing to grow. It's the city of Aurora has been amazing as a partner overall. So yeah, Stanley's been open for just over a year.
And now the new baby.
Now we have a new little baby Chook. I feel bad saying that because I know that's how Snooze says their new restaurants, little baby Snoozes. But some things work, so I'll just call it a new little baby Chook.
Not all of us know every tagline of every restaurant. It's quite okay. But then you're open every day.
Every day from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. Great dine-in spaces. All of our restaurants are really fun, engaging. Like we didn't talk about sandwiches, but like the avocado chicken sandwich.
I'm the sandwich person.
Yeah, which I see you eat all the time. It's super delicious. And then dinner, again, like we have a full liquor license, so we've got great cocktails, wine, obviously.
Which you would see me have every night anyway, too.
And as you should, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh God, no.
It's a fun place to dine in, but again, we see a lot of people literally pull up and call us and be like, "Can we run this out to your car?" They'll run in real quick and grab it. It's for just over $50 to feed a family of 4, something.
Well, you do have a special thing. It's $50.
Yeah, the Chook for 4. So whole chicken, 3 of our sides, large salad. It's when my boys are teenagers, the Chook for 4 might not work.
No, Chook for 4 will not work here. It would work for me and my friends. Right. But if you ever saw my grandson, it wouldn't work.
Yeah, it'll be a different road. But again, like that's something I'm excited about. That's what I pay for good pizza, to go out.
Easy now. Pizza, you can't go any place really. I don't go to McDonald's. I'm not talking about that. Right. But anything with food that's like yours, organic, fresh, it's going to cost more money. Your staff is wonderful every place. And it's a great environment. It really is.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, again, it's 3 years, and you kind of careful what you wish for. But again, I couldn't say enough truly about like the team that we have. Like that is the reason Chook is successful and engaging and fun and works. Like some phenomenal people that we've been able to work with over the years. And, that's why restaurants work, is people.
I agree. I mean, when they say it's one person, it's never one person.
Oh, no.
It just can't be.
No,
And I know you do
Alex and I
lots,
are the least important people in this restaurant.
but I also do have to say, just to you and to your team, staff, everyone there, I do a lot of charity work, and that's my thing. And every time I call and I say, do you think maybe Chook would be a part of it? Oh, of course. I mean, no problem. They're there with bells on, with a great team. And I, as a person, can't thank you enough. Because if somebody tells me I did a good job, I didn't do anything. It's you all who come and do all the work and do everything. I just make a call and you're there. I can't thank you enough for all you do.
Well, right back to you. And I don't think you always get as much credit. You certainly never try to seek it, but everything that you've done for this restaurant community and in our city and state is profound, Gabby. So just have to call because.
Okay, well, let's forget that part. But okay, anyway, you are fabulous. How does did we miss anything we wanted to talk
I'd say just one other notion if you're ordering Chook is, the online way to order is actually pretty strong. So you're able to go in there, you can schedule, when you want to order and pick it up. So if you want to come in at 5 or 5:30, certainly the easiest way to do it. It's all pretty streamlined and well done. We've actually seen catering really start to pick up because, to me, bias, but I'm like, this is actually some of the best catering food you can have for a lunch instead of just getting more sandwiches and more sandwiches. We've been doing a lot of different things. We actually just did a bunch with the Colorado Rapids and all of their management groups. We do a lot with athletes and programs, a lot with the University of Denver. So I always hate to throw the health thing into Chook because I think that people don't associate taste and health. This is a delicious.
That's not true. Yeah.
This is a delicious restaurant.
And you have catered my HOA's parties.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who could complain in an HOA. They all loved it. And you did accommodate. One lady didn't eat garlic, and they managed to send notes saying, eat this, don't eat this, do this. And I thought, you did not have to go to that much trouble. Like you do. Okay, yeah. So what is the website for ordering?
So it is www.chook-chicken.com. So Chook is CHOOK. We've been playing around with T-shirts that kind of help pronounce it because it's like Chook like Chuck, and then Chook like book, like look, like cook. So it's CHOOK chicken.com.
And you are great. And before we get off, I want to tell everybody to please like and subscribe to the Gabb on YouTube. And you'll find this on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram as soon as we're done and it's up. And I can say I have been a fan of Chook since day one. Right. And I think I was there for that opening too. It shows you how old I am. I keep going back and I was there. And you are
It's not an opening without Gabby. It's just not an opening without Gabby.
I'll be there. And you tell me it's an opening, I'm there. Anything you tell me, I'm there for all of you. But you are fabulous and wonderful. I can't thank you enough for all you do and for taking time to spend with me. So have a great weekend. And happy spring.
Please
we can run in the park.
Please be spring.
Yes, please let me go and watch you run in the park. I'm the one in the hat. You're the one running. Have a great week. Much love. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Gabby.